Most people think the hardest Army training is about being the toughest person in the room. That's not always true. Some of the hardest schools in the Army don't purely rely on smoke sessions or gut checks. They overload you mentally, compress years of knowledge into months, and demand that you perform under pressure every single day while still meeting the Army standards. Hello leaders and future leaders, this is retired Sergeant First Class Beitz. Today, we are breaking down the 5 hardest Army MOS schools based on a combination of academic intensity and physical demand. These aren't hype MOS schools. These aren't selection pipelines. These are MOS-producing schools where the Army expects you to graduate, yet not all soldiers do. Quick disclaimer, before we get into the list, let me address this up front. You are not going to see 18 series MOSs in this video. That's intentional. Special Forces training is a selection and qualification pipeline, not a traditional MOS school. Its purpose is to assess and eliminate, not to teach at scale. This video is about MOS schools where failure happens because the training itself is demanding. Alright, let's get into it. Number 5, 35 Papa, Cryptologic Linguist. This MOS school is hard in a way most people don't immediately recognize. Training locations. 35 Papa training happens in 2 major phases. First, soldiers attend language training at the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California. After graduating DLI, they move on to the Cryptologic and Signals Intelligence training at Goodfellow Air Force Base in Texas. Total length. Combined, you are looking at roughly 9 to 15 months depending on the language and follow-on training requirements. Special requirements. Very high ASVAB line scores. Qualifying D-Lab for most languages. Eligibility for a top secret clearance. This is one of the most academically demanding MOS pipelines in the Army. You are expected to learn a foreign language at a professional level, then immediately transition into highly technical intelligence training, all under constant testing and evaluation. Daily study hours are long, failure rates are real, and if you fall behind, the course does not slow down. This isn't physical exhaustion, it's sustained mental pressure layered on top of full Army standards. Number 4, 15 series Aviation Maintenance Select MOSs. Location. Training is conducted at Army Aviation schoolhouses, primarily at Fort Novosel. Length. Roughly 4 to 12 months, depending on the specific aircraft and MOS. Special requirements. Strong mechanical aptitude, solid math and technical comprehension, ability to meet aviation physical standards. Aviation maintenance AITs quietly crush people. You are expected to master aircraft systems, electrical theory, hydraulics, and troubleshooting, all at a fast pace with constant evaluation. This isn't a job where you can figure it out later. Aircraft don't get second chances, and neither do students. Number 3, 68 Whiskey Flight Paramedic F2. This one needs clarification because it is not a single school, it's a pipeline. Initial MOS training. All soldiers start with 68 Whiskey Combat Medic AIT at Fort Sam Houston. After AIT, soldiers must pass a flight physical and be accepted into the flight medic pipeline. From there, the additional training breaks down into 3 parts. First, there's about 6 months of paramedic training at Fort Sam Houston. This phase is focused on earning your National Registry paramedic certification, and it's heavy on academics, constant testing, long study days, and very real attrition. After that comes roughly 2 months of critical care flight medic training, also at Fort Sam Houston. This is where things ramp up even more with advanced trauma medicine, ventilators, IV drips, and critical care decision-making under pressure. Finally, there's about 1 month of air-specific and skills training at Fort Novosel. That's where everything comes together. Aviation integration, aircraft operations, and mission-specific skills, all in an operational flight environment. Altogether, you are looking at around 9 months of formal advanced training after AIT, not counting any wait times or administrative delays. This pipeline doesn't reward motivation alone, it rewards consistent, high-level performance under stress. Number 2, 12 Delta Army Diver. This is a split location pipeline, which is important to understand. Training begins with an initial phase at Fort Leonard Wood, where soldiers complete pre-diver training in Phase 1. This portion is shorter, about 3 weeks, but it's heavy on water confidence, physical screening, and fundamentals. Many people get cut here before the course even begins. After that, students move to the Naval Diving and Salvage Training Training Center in Panama City, Florida for Phase 2. That's the long part, roughly 26 to 29 weeks, and it's where the real difficulty sets in. You are learning advanced diving operations, underwater welding, salvage techniques, and engineering tasks, all while dealing with cold water, fatigue, pressure, and again, constant evaluation. This course isn't just physically demanding, it's mentally exhausting and technically unforgiving. Strong soldiers fail here not because they aren't tough, but because the precision and technical standards never let up. Number 1, 89 Delta, Explosive Ordnance Disposal, EOD. EOD isn't just one school, it's another pipeline. Training starts with Army-specific preparation, followed by Phase 1 at Fort Lee, where students are introduced to ordnance fundamentals and evaluated early on. From there, candidates move on to the Naval School Explosive Ordnance Disposal at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. This is a joint schoolhouse, and it's where the real grind begins. Students rotate through multiple divisions covering demolitions, ordnance identification, electronics, robotics, and improvised explosive devices. Every block builds on the last, and there's very little margin for error. The academics are relentless, the pressure is constant, and the consequences of mistakes are no bueno. From start to finish, you are looking at around 10 to 12 months of training depending on progression. This isn't brute force, it's precision under pressure sustained over a long period of time. And that's why EOD earns the #1 spot on this list. If you notice a pattern across this list, it's this. These MOS schools require more than the norm. A lot of Army MOSs train at a single location. You show up, complete the course, earn your MOS, and move on to your unit. There's nothing wrong with that, and those jobs are still demanding in their own way. But the MOSs on this list don't work like that. They require pipelines, not just courses. Multiple phases, multiple locations, and standards that carry forward instead of resetting. Each phase builds on the last, and if you fall behind at any point, there isn't a clean reset. The training keeps moving. And that's part of why these schools are so difficult. They demand sustained performance over time, across environments, and under constant evaluation, not just a strong showing for a few weeks. That requirement for consistency, adaptability, and long-term competence is exactly why these MOS schools earned a spot on this list. If you've served in any of these MOSs, please share your insights in the comments. That kind of first-hand information helps people who are seriously considering these paths make better decisions. If you are looking for a place to connect with others who are in the process of joining, already serving, or who've been there and have experience, check out our community Discord. I'm in there daily. Links in the video description. This is Sergeant First Class Beitz. I'm out.
Need so much in the air.
Need so much in the air.
I'm scared. Using witches, 'cause it doesn't mean so much in the air.